your vantage point, higher education, as we look at the next 5 to 10 years.
Yep.
Obviously, how do we make it more affordable? And B, I guess part two to it is this the route for the future? Right? Is this something systemically that is sustainable for the next 10 to 20 years as we see college tuitions going up, less people being able to afford? Yeah. We see the highs in entrepreneurship. What are your thoughts around that?
And that's a great question. It's an exciting time to, we got to step up increasing the return on investment in higher education. And I talk often about, a college graduate on average makes $1 million or more over the course of their career than someone who graduated high school without a college degree. So there is value in higher education. Now, not every program has the same value. So some of the things that we're working on also, that doesn't get a lot of attention because it's not as sexy as loan forgiveness, is gainful employment. We need to talk to parents and students directly about what the return on investment is. What is the average debt of a graduate of a specific program? And what is the average salary of a graduate of a program? So we're working on creating metrics so that families see this and say, you know what? You want to go into this profession, or you want to go into this career, or you want to go to this school, but you're going to be in greater debt than you're going to be making, than your income. You're not even going to be able to pay for it. We got to get to the root of the issue. Another thing that we're doing, President Biden and Vice President Harris increased Pell Grants for those students who have the greatest need, right, by $900 over the last 3.5 years. He's on he wants to double Pell Grants. So that's another way. So we're closing the gaps between those who can't afford it, those who cannot afford it. Another thing that we've done, and we're proud of it, we went after those for-profit colleges that they prey on first-gen kids. They tell you, sign up for this program. It's only $70,000 so that you could get a job making $10 an hour, $11 an hour. That makes no sense. Those folks get into these high-interest loans, and you know this better than I do. You take a $60,000 loan, in 10 years, you owe $150,000, $200,000, and they never get out of that. So what we did is some debt relief. We changed the root cause of the issue, and we're increasing accountability. And then another thing that we're doing, this is something that doesn't get a lot of attention. We're creating pathways to careers that don't require a 4-year degree. You could get a credential to weld, make $80,000 at a shipyard, go for your 2-year associates, get more credentials on coding, and now you're coding a machine that's welding. You're not doing the welding. You're making $110 a year. That's happening all over this country with the legislation that was passed in the first 2 years of the Biden-Harris administration. Those careers are going to create such a competition for these 4-year schools to say, we better step it up if we want to stay relevant. That's what's happening under our eyes right now. So I'm excited about that as well. There's more opportunities for students when they graduate than there were 4 years ago.
Can you talk to me like a third grader really quickly? Like, why can't we have like a national curriculum reform with the advent of apps and technology making it easier, where there's a curriculum in place where underprivileged kids can go to the Department of Education's website or YouTube page and they'll get certain lessons by grade to keep them up to par, especially as America is losing some of its competitive edge to other countries? What are some of the roadblocks that are facing doing something like that?
Yeah, that's a great question. As an educator, as a father, that's what I would want, right? But the way our system is set up is different than other countries. I've talked to ministers of education in other countries. I've been to other countries. They have a unitary system, meaning it's a federalized education system. Our federal government does not recognize a one curriculum for the whole country. Every state has their own. I guess that's just the DNA of our country, right? We have independent states. And as I said before, there's risks if you have one system, because then you have somebody like my predecessor coming in with wild curriculum that is bad for some of our students. So that's the root cause of it. Now, I will tell you, there are programs that are used in every state that help. An example of that is like Khan Academy, where they have math concepts from elementary age all the way up that could be used in after-school programs to enhance school. But the way our laws are written, the responsibility of public education really falls on the states, not on the federal government. Our job is to enhance and support it and then provide civil rights for education, but not necessarily to drive the curriculum.